Welcome guys to my second video. You are watching Matafari on Olkak TV data point. Now on this data point guys, today I want to discuss something about the politics of domineering or the politics of dominion. The politics of dominion was first of all practiced by Daniel Arap Moi when he said it is KANU or no KANU or no any other party. It is KANU the highway. The politics of domineering was KANU the highway. Any other descending voice or descending party was crushed. It took a lot of people to come together to create a movement, the name Second Liberation. The movement of the Second Liberation, where they were fighting to rebuild Section 2A so that we can have multipartyism. It took almost 10 to 15 years to get that. And once when we reached 1992, and Moi understood that the pressure was too much and he was to give way, Moi agreed that let us have multipartyism. And when Moi agreed that let us have multipartyism, Moi took multipartyism to his advantage and used state resources to fund every tribe a king. So it is Moi who began the politics of kingmanship, tribal kingsmen. And when we had tribal kingsmen being funded by Moi, this is how we had too much split of communities into subgroups. This dividing of communities into subgroups gave Moi 24 years in power. It took too much power of the likes of these Kibakis, the Jaramogis, the Ogingas, the Railas, to come and fight to create to fight for a new constitution so that they can change the idea of president having too much power so that they can decentralize the powers of the executive. So the idea of parliamentary was brought in, being supported by this Honorable Ruto. It was fought down, and the presidency, the presidential system succeeded when we had a new promulgation of a new constitution. So by the time we were coming to 2002, there was too much interest that we need to have a new constitution. So by 2003, 2005, a new constitution was born. It went through, and by 2007, it was the first. It was the first vote and a new constitution. So what happened? The politics of domineering, or the politics of kingmanship, or the politics of tribal arithmetics took center stage. And that is when we had the idea of tyranny of numbers, because the new constitution had just inserted a clause which said for you to be a president in Kenya, you are supposed to gain 50 plus 1 vote, 50% plus 1 vote. And in so doing, it ensured that the two dominion tribes, the matching of the two main tribes produces a president. Remember, in Kenya, we have 4 major tribes: Kikuyus, Luyas, Kalenjins, and Luos. But in terms of population, voter registration, it is Kikuyus, followed by Kalenjin, followed by Luos, then Luyas. Luyas become the last. So the politics of 50 plus 1 really was bad politics for the Luya people, because the government used their resources to over-register the adults in those perceived as government support areas, and those areas are a Rift Valley and the mountainous people. So they got too much facilitation. Many adults were registered, and even during voting, two areas were being facilitated so that we could have a immense number of voters. In so doing, it helped to produce the two regimes, the two governors, right away from Uhuru Kenyatta, Kibaki, Kalonzo, Uhuru, Ruto for 10 years, and now Ruto and one person from Kikuyu. And this one is going to take center place for the next 10 years, up to 2032. Now, when we talk about the politics of domineering, this is 2026, and we are discussing the succession politics as we move towards 2027. The government, if you look at the government now, today is 6th of August. The last 3, 4, or 5 days had a lot of activities in the State House. It began when the president invited the Quakers, those people who belonged in the Friends Church. More than 10,000 people attended the meeting. In the evening, he welcomed the sheikhs, all the Muslim fraternity, the imams. More than 10,000 imams attended. Remember, when they attend, Ruto sells himself to these people, and again, Ruto pays them. He facilitates their transport, and he also facilitates their food, and finally gives them tokens. It's called the politics of tokenism. Paying each 5,000. So if 10,000 people attend and you pay each 5,000, you have spent 50 million. Not 50, you have spent 5. I don't know if it is 50 million. I think it is 500 million. You will have spent 500 million. So after Ruto made the Quakers, he made the sheikhs and the imams. He came and met these wazee wa nyumba kumi, we call them the makasas or the mukasas or the village elders. Those are 10,000 people. And he gave them tokens of 3,000 each, plus a medical cover of share for all the family household of those wakasas or wazees or the village elders. For the first time, these people had never been to a State House. After that, yesterday, I think he announced that he's meeting the security officers, the security groups from Nairobi, I believe so, and the rounds. Today morning, I have seen more than 10,000 people attending State House. And in the evening, they will move out with tokens. So this is the politics of domineering. Now, while Ruto is meeting these different groups called caucus in the State House, Wamunyoro is also meeting different groups in Wamunyoro. Yesterday he was having a caucus from Muranga, and the other day he was having a caucus from Kiambu, and last week he was having a caucus from Rift Valley. So you can see that the politics being practiced by Ruto and the politics being practiced by Rigathi are almost similar, with the same features and character. The only difference is messaging. The only difference is messaging. Now, where does that leave Kalonzo and Sifuna? Kalonzo is left with Uhuru Kenyatta trying to create some small parties to come and support Kalonzo Musyoka. But that is on paper. But in actual practice, Uhuru is creating a more division in the united opposition. So that when you can have people who are supporting Kalonzo, in the name that they are supporting Kalonzo, and the Kalonzo does not have a base, because people of the mountain are with the Rigathi, and the people of Western are with the Sifuna, and the people of Rift Valley are with the Ruto. So where is Kalonzo going to get the voters from? You see how Uhuru is lying to Kalonzo? Now, let's look at the Sifuna. When you create Sifuna as a king from Western, and you have already split Western into 5 groups, then you give Sifuna another Gen Z, another constituency called Gen Z, and you have already split the Gen Zs into another 5 main tribes. So where do you leave Sifuna? Where does Sifuna get the votes from? Because the Gen Zs are going to vote for their kingpins, and the Luyas are going to vote according to their Luya tribal kingsmen. So where is Sifuna going to get the junk of 4 million votes? So that means Uhuru, despite that he's funding Sifuna becomes an issue when it comes to Ruto's re-election. It becomes an issue. Same to Kalonzo becomes an issue. And this is the politics of differentiation, domineering, and integration. So you differentiate the groups into Ruto's group, Kachagwa's group, Kalonzo's group, Sifuna's group. After differentiating the groups, during voting, you come and integrate the groups together to create a handshake. You see? And when you create a handshake with these groups, you do domineering. Domineering is where you tell the groups to dissolve their caucus and their party so that they join in one big umbrella of the ruling party. So the politics is about differentiation, integration, and domineering. And by so doing, you create still a one formidable all-cac group or system group ruling the government. And we are going to be ruled for more than 200 years using that strategy until we get somebody from the far left. Actually, Sifuna could have done that. But the problem, Sifuna cannot be able to do it because Sifuna is being funded by the same group, the same people. If Sifuna had his own money, and if Sifuna had a goodwill of delivering this Kenya, this country called Kenya, from the jaws of this fisi, or this lion, or this leopard, if we can be delivered from the jaws of this prey, then we can succeed. Guys, it's not easy. As long as nobody has come out to create his own base, unless we can get a support from Russia. I'm thinking if we can get a support from Russia or Germany, we can succeed. The problem is that Britain and America are dominating the Russians. The Russians don't have a say in Kenya. Maybe in West Africa. Anyway, guys, we shall talk more concerning this. This is Matufari, and you have been watching the Oligarch TV show on Datapod. You have been watching the Oligarch TV show on Datapod. Please like the video, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys, and ask questions in the comment section. Those people who are in TikTok, always like and press the red plus sign. I love you guys. This is Matafari.